Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I hope you trust my editing today because this is probably the hardest edit we've had to do because we've actually had to use the clap we do at the beginning of the podcast. And when you hear it, the clap will be way off, but the audio should be matched. Also, another thing I'd like to warn you is you can kind of hear me breathing because I guess I was too close to the microphone. Sorry about that. I tried to get rid of it as much as possible, but it's kind of funny. So I hope you enjoy the podcast. How?
Steven?
How?
Okay, so I'm gonna just for a test say a question and then you respond.
Okay.
Okay? So what's your cat's name?
Lucy.
Alright, there you go. Now you know how to line that shit up. And then I guess we'll do the clap too. If you feel like it. If you don't feel like it though, we don't have to, or this is
No, I kinda wanna clap.
You wanna clap?
Even though I never have wanted to before. I don't wanna clap.
It's a staple, Steven. It's like
Vince
like
Staples.
Lou Gehrig in New York.
In 5 years, when this podcast is bigger than Joe Rogan, the clap will be an icon.
Yeah, the clap. All right. I gotta roll my sleeves back. 3, 2, 1. That's so bad.
I mean, we're gonna have to. Whoever edits it is gonna have a tough time, but they're just gonna have to figure it out. I don't know how else to make it easier.
Guys, welcome to our third podcast. The title of this podcast is Episode 3. So close yet so far out. Yeah, because me and Steve are currently halfway across the country from each other.
I'm gonna Google how many actual miles.
It's a 14-hour drive. I think it's 1,000 miles about. Because I was driving 80, 90 down the freeway. Well, I wasn't actually driving 80, 90 down the freeway.
Well, the thing.
Oh shit! We forgot to do the. Here, wait. There we go, guys.
It is. It says 15 hours and 34 minutes. It's not giving me.
Oh, shit.
It's not giving me miles. Oh wait, it's 1,106 miles.
1,106 miles. There you have it, y'all.
I'd give it a little less than half of the length of the U.S.
Yeah.
So.
Because the U.S. is, how long is the U.S.?
I mean, you could map Florida to California and see how long that actually is.
It is horizontal width 2,680 miles. So yeah, it's a bit less.
Yeah. I judged a bit less based on Apple Maps on my laptop.
Oh yes, Apple Maps. All right, well.
Iconic.
Yeah, I'm currently at my school. Steve is currently at his. So we're gonna try this newfangled thing called online communication.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say I've used it before. But anyways, Steve, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm at a transfer student new conference thing, which is honestly not the greatest thing because I know I've been to college before. I know what it's like to be new, and I don't really need them to tell me what to do. I just want to get it over with and just get going. I am really enjoying my new apartment though. It's pretty damn nice. My mom is in the room behind me on the couch chilling.
Ah, yes, always fun.
Yeah.
My apartment's pretty cool too. It's such a fucking mess right now because I've been buying IKEA furniture. Did your apartment come furnished?
Yeah, but it wasn't much. But the only thing I bought was a TV stand. I bought a TV stand and I built that last night. They had a really
Fun.
It was like a Walmart TV stand. It was foolproof. It's pretty nice though.
I went to IKEA. And by the way, I fucking love IKEA. Mm-hmm. IKEA is so fucking cool, and walking around the store is one of the greatest experiences humankind can ever feel. Because you have your friends walking around making puns out of every single fucking thing. It's just great, you know. But I bought a desk, table, a shelf, and a cabinet. And then 6 chairs. And we built 6 chairs for it's like a dining room table. If I have any boys over,
I brought a cot
But
from when I was a Boy Scout. If any boys want to come over, if I know you personally, you're always welcome. Because I'm gonna be lonely. I already know it, especially at first.
I'm lonely too, Steven.
I'm
Did you bring a computer to college?
No, but I can. I didn't put in the effort to bring it because it's a lot of room, but I can bring it easily.
Do it. Because once I build my computer, we're gonna be Jay chilling on the Rift, buddy.
I set up my Apple TV today, and my mom loves it because it has like the screensavers of whatever city or the mountain range or whatever. She was like so intrigued by it. She was just watching it. It was kind of fun.
I remember the first time I had friends over at the new house. We were all sitting in the movie room, and we were all sitting in the movie room just staring at this like panoramic view of a city, and we were just like, what fucking city is this?
Every time a new one comes up, my mom asks me what it is. There's one that was Shanghai. There's one that's Dubai.
Wait, there's more than one?
Yeah, you can go into the settings and you can have it change at a certain rate. You can have it change it once a week, once a day. I have it set at once an hour. Every hour it changes. But then I turned it on.
That's the only move.
Because it'll download a new one every hour if you let it.
Oh, and it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Because it's like 4K or 1080p or whatever.
So what I did is I let it run for like a day. And then I stopped the downloads to where I have like 7 that rotate every hour. It's ones like...
Okay.
I think the only 3 city ones are Los Angeles, Shanghai...
LA is cool.
And...
I want Shanghai.
What's the last one? Dubai. You can't choose it,
Dubai.
though. They don't let you choose the specific one, which is kind of gay, but they're still really dope. You just have to like hope for the best luck whenever you let them download.
That's fair. Yeah. I only had LA, but I would love like Paris or something. I think like an aerial view of Paris would be...
Apparently they're like regularly adding more.
Dude, there's probably an Austin one.
Oh, that would be cool.
I would fucking love an Austin just panoramic view. Then again, I don't have an Apple TV out here. I only have the Google.
The cheaper one's only like $150, and I think it was 100% worth it.
Only $150.
$150 was less than I thought it would be. Much less than I thought it would
like,
be.
I would get an Apple TV, but right now I already have a Google
Chrome.
whatever the fuck.
Chromecast.
Chromecast, yeah. I have a Chromecast, and so far that's satisfied my itch because I can just like wire everything from my phone, and my Wi-Fi is blazing fast.
I think the main reason I wanted the Apple TV, well, the first reason what made me think of it was I wanted a wireless HDMI, because me personally, I regularly torrent movies, but I hated that if I wanted to play it on a bigger screen, I'd have to wire it up and shit. It was just frustrating.
Chromecast, you can.
Chromecast does it only with Chrome and only certain websites. So why I lean towards Apple TVs, because all Apple products can do AirPlay. So I can.
And you're an Apple fiend.
Yes, I love Apple products. I just love it, and so you just put whatever is on your laptop onto the screen. So I'll torrent a movie and then put it on the screen instantly, with like no latency or anything. It's great.
There are wireless HDMI.
Yeah, but they're so expensive. Good ones are really expensive. And
oh fuck.
Yeah. So an Apple TV.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. It's $130 for the mono price.
Mm-hmm.
Wireless HDMI extender. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I think
wait, no, you have to plug them in too.
Yeah, you actually there's no wires with AirPlay, and you get the other features of an Apple TV. Like I watch YouTube on that bitch all the time. Because the TV I have, my mom's old TV, is pretty damn loud. I use that as a speaker. And then I also have my mom's Amazon Prime account, which is... so I have Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, there you have it.
And then anything else, if I really want it, I'll just torrent it. So
yeah,
my media...
Well, Steve,
my media needs
we don't torrent things.
You're right.
We can't leave a wire trail.
I've never done anything illegal.
Neither have I, man. But so it's really funny because this monoprice HDMI extender, wireless HDMI extender, it's $140, and the tooltip is this: wireless. Forget about long HDMI network or coaxial cables. As long as you have access to power, you can wirelessly extend full HD HDMI video without the need for a long, expensive cable. But the thing is, it has up to 98 feet of range, and I've seen Wi-Fi. They're like about a foot is about $1 for HDMI cables.
Yeah.
So you can just have like a fucking 100-foot HDMI cable. Of course, there's not many 100-foot HDMI cables out there, but
I saw this.
It would instantly be cheaper than this fucking thing.
You know the YouTube channel Unbox Therapy?
Yes, I do.
I know. That was the first time I saw. He reviewed a wireless HDMI that I think he said was like $250, and it was intended for gaming, so there's no latency and it's instant.
There's always latency.
I mean,
with
like
wireless.
it's unavoidable, but like it's the best of the best.
Less,
it's the best of the best. And he was playing Breath of the Wild on his Switch with a TV 50 feet away. And he said that he couldn't even notice, like, he thought it was instant with his, like, when he actually hit a button and saw it on the screen, like, 50 feet away.
That's fair.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, God, I want to play Breath of the Wild again, but I know if I start right as school starts, I'm so fucked.
My Switch is here, but I'm probably only going to play, like, multiplayer games if I have people over.
When Smash comes out, I'm coming home and I'm going to fucking knock you on your ass.
Dude.
I will knock everyone on your ass. If you're listening to this podcast, come to my house. I'll fucking play Pichu and knock you down.
I need to start training now. I'm going to buy a used Xbox. Not an Xbox.
Xbox?
GameCube.
Wii U, no.
Wii
You
U?
need to get Smash 4. Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a Wii U.
Neither am I. I'm just going to play a lot during finals week.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, you'll definitely be better than me. I won't put in the effort.
The thing is, two of my ex-suite mates, both of them are like almost professional Smash players.
Mm.
Like they go to like tourneys and stuff. They never place, but they're pretty fucking good. And I always played with them last semester, and they would just fucking dumpster me. So like I'm still shit, but I'm not like a slimy shit anymore. I'm like a log. I'm like a log of shit.
I saw I think it was a BuzzFeed video a while back, and it was a dude who thought he was good at Smash versus a professional Smash player, and every time the Smash player won, he'd have to take a shot of tequila, and he won 7 straight games, and then and then they just stopped. And they stopped it. He wasn't shit faced, but they didn't want him to be like actually plastered on screen, so they stopped at 7.
I remember. Do you know Filthy Frank, right?
Yeah, of course.
For everyone here, Filthy Frank was this kind of internet phenomenon who had this weird, like, absurdist humor that was fucking insane, but it was really funny.
Really fucking weird.
Oh, it's so fucking weird. Some of my favorite videos on YouTube, though, are him. Like, for example, he did this one with a collab with Max Mofo, who is an Australian YouTuber, and iDubbbz, who's another YouTuber. You should check him out. He's just as fucking weird. But it was called Deadly Twister. And in each of the different colors, like, you know how there's different rows?
Yeah.
And each one is a different color? They do different things. Like, I think the first one that they did, the red was candles. And they just had to stick their fucking hand or their foot in candles. Like, lit candles.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
So they actually did this? I could totally see them actually doing this, yeah.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny. But one of them, in the second time they did it, they put they had shots of vodka in the red square, I think. And one guy landed on like 3 out of like the 5 spots. So he just got shit-faced. And everyone else was just kind of like whatever. Oh, man. Fucking YouTube, man. Speaking of, I've been watching so much goddamn YouTube.
Oh, I love
Steve, what about you?
YouTube is my heart and soul. Like, we talked about this before. When I don't have anything to do, my first go-to is watching YouTube. I love Casey Neistat, even though like over time I started to like realize it's kind of repetitive. I just like the aesthetic of his videos. Like every single one of his videos are really well made and really high quality, and that alone is usually enough for me to come back for almost every one of his videos.
Yeah, I I don't know. I don't really know what I watch right now. I've been like kind of in like a lull of YouTube where I just don't know what the fuck I'm watching, but I'm watching it to make noise.
Exactly.
Because like the apartment gets kind of like quiet after a while, you know. Like I think after a while you'll feel the same thing where it's like you're just sitting there. And
I'll probably
like,
always
no
have
here, what the fuck do I do?
a podcast playing in the background.
That's what I've been doing. That is actually dead ass what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I've been running a podcast or like watching YouTube videos.
Because like you don't have to pay attention the whole time. You can just like kind of like mess around.
Yeah, it's just to like keep out the silence.
Yeah.
Which gets. It's not fun. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, both me and Alex are living alone this semester at least. Me, I am alone for the next 12 months for sure.
Yeah.
So I think I'll.
Like 12 months?
The lease is for 12 months.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm
my
not
lease is 12 months
here
as
for
well,
12 months,
but I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not gonna stay here the whole time. But
during summer break, I'm probably gonna be back home, but I have to pay the lease.
Yeah,
which is kind of shit.
I might come here and just like dick around sometimes. Maybe
Yeah,
bring
with,
some
like,
friends
my
over the
my
summer.
friends.
It's like hey, I want to go to College Station, meet some guys, go
Yeah.
to a party or something.
Oh, dude, dead ass. I mean, I would say like you guys want to go to Tempe, and then we would get to Tempe, and we're just like,
man.
it's 120 degrees. I don't want to leave the dorm. What do we do?
And it takes a lot of effort and money to get all the way over there from Austin.
14-hour drive.
Meanwhile, it's just
I think
2 hours over here.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm, like, when I want to come back for breaks and stuff, I'm just going to invite one of my friends here to drive with me. It's like, hey, do you want to drive 14 hours with me back home? We can, like, split it. And it'll be a free thing, and I'll pay, like, I'll pay for, like, your airfare back. Because it's, like, if you get it early enough, it's, like, $50 from here to Tempe or here to, like, Chicago.
That'd be dope.
But, yeah, and then they would, like, stay for a week. I'd introduce them to all my friends.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
Dude, I really wish Sorry, go on.
I was gonna change topics, so you go first.
I was gonna say I was looking at the YouTube videos I've been watching recently, and I really want HBO Go. I need to get
HBO Go.
I know football isn't your thing, but Hard Knocks on HBO, which is the show where they go inside of an NFL team's like training camp and how like all the drama and how it works and behind the scenes of an NFL team.
Drama.
There's drama.
Ooh.
There's some drama, and it's like reality TV. Like it's actually they're not faking. It's actually what happens, and it's really really interesting. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into too many details. That's why I want HBO. That and HBO's just got good content all around.
Yeah, I know there's some stuff that I've been wanting to watch on HBO, but like I can't justify the purchase because like I have Amazon Prime, Netflix, and VRV, which is like everything I would ever need, especially like
I don't pay
Amazon and Netflix.
I don't pay for any subscription services on my own, so I'm tempted to get HBO because I use my mom's Amazon, and that's it. That's the only subscription service I have.
You don't have Netflix?
No, I don't have Netflix.
I mean, if you need one.
Hit me up, dude.
Yeah.
Announce your user and password to the podcast.
Oh, shit. Negatory summoner. Now we're good.
So,
but yeah.
A good friend of both of ours, Jake, thought that we should have...
Shout out to Jake.
We should have segments in our podcast, which I thought was a good idea.
Oh, we're doing the segment thing now.
Segments. All right. And we didn't think of a name with it. We thought it'd be funny if we tried to think of a name on the podcast, but we thought we'd just go on to the top of like last week, the top week post of the last week on Reddit, and just read and talk about those posts.
We just go to top r/all on Reddit and see what the fuck is going on. Wow, this is insane.
I should go. Oh wait, I'm on my subscriptions, aren't I? I should go.
Yeah, you go to the top left corner and you click all instead of home.
Oh yeah, you're right. So top last week.
Yikes. There's some drama going on.
I mean,
the United States right now is just a bundle of fucking. It's like
I avoid news because every time you go to the news about something horrible,
you just like roll your eyes and you're like, great, or it's just like, holy shit, what the hell is happening?
Did you see that post? A bird flew into my window, shit on my laptop, and decided to die right in front of me. How was your day going?
Yep. Wait, are you going to top of week? But I remember.
I did last week, because if we do this every week, I feel like top last week would be the best thing to do.
Yeah, top past week.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh man.
What we should do is on the YouTube video, we should edit the picture in
Oh yeah.
and like the link. But that shit.
That's gonna take a lot of work that I'm not.
So
willing.
guys,
y'all know how to go to Reddit and how to go how to /
Yeah.
if you don't.
Sure. Basically, a fucking bluebird just shit on this dude's laptop and died. I
Yeah,
don't really know how
it's
to
a
explain
picture
it.
of a dead bird on the guy's laptop with shit and bird shit all over it, and it said he flew through his window, shit on the laptop, and decided to die in front of him. That's fucked up, but
God
that's pretty
damn.
funny.
Oh, of course.
Casual
There's a bunch of drama shit.
Casual shit of shitting on EA. I don't really care.
Yeah, there's always some shit on EA. Old coots giving advice. It's probably bad advice, but it's free. All right. Apparently, a bunch of old folks set up a tent at an art fair.
Oh, this one was funny.
Steve,
Sorry.
wait. Let's talk about this for a bit. How would you think old people giving advice to people going to an art fair would fare? Like, how do you think that would do?
I feel like if these people, elderly people going to art fairs, I feel like I would genuinely trust their wisdom, because one, they're
Yeah.
way older than you. They probably have way more they definitely have more experience in life, and they're like intellectual enough to want to go to art fairs.
Yeah, they're not like insane.
It's kind of like a
Probably.
generalization in the fact that they'd be smart, but that sounds like a smart person to me.
Yeah. I mean, they're just chilling at an art fair, sitting at like a plastic table.
Yeah, and they look.
I mean,
They got their shit together. Well, their life's nearly over. Let's be honest, but still.
what would you ask them, Steven, if you showed up to an art fair and there's these people like giving just like
If you were my
just
age,
free advice?
what would you tell yourself?
That's perfect, actually. I was gonna say something like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something rather espresso depresso.
I'd do that to like each and every one of them and just see what they have to say. Because like
I was gonna
like
say
that,
like, yeah.
it could be pretty
Like,
good.
when did you figure it out? Like, when did you finally just like
Or
get
some shit like, what is your key to happiness? Some shit like that.
what is your key to happiness?
Yeah.
There'll probably be like a Coors Light and a sunset or some shit like that.
That sounds like every country song ever.
Oh yes.
So this past Tuesday,
right.
so I guess we're recording this on Thursday. Hopefully we'll have this
Yes.
out by tomorrow on Friday. So this past Tuesday, we, me, and a few other guys went to Enchanted Rock, and we listened to nothing but country music. It was beautiful. And then on Enchanted Rock, it was funny.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
Because there were two people there that you did not want to hang out with. Now,
Yeah.
Isaiah lost his wallet, and we spent like an hour
Oh.
trying to find his wallet, like backtracking.
Did he find it?
No, he never found it. He left his phone number behind, like in his name. So like, if you find my wallet, please call me, type deal. I would feel like he would have told me by now if he actually like saw anything, but I don't think he has.
Yeah, shit.
But that was actually kind of a good time. But it was hot and it was exhausting. I slept like a baby after that.
Yeah. Wait, I actually went to Enchanted Rock a while back as well. It's a really good hike. So if you're in the Austin area, you should go check it out. It's like Earth's chode.
It's so weird though, because like, I wanted to go to Fredericksburg. I should have gone to Fredericksburg. I haven't been to Fredericksburg in a while. But
Oh, I love Fredericksburg.
Have you been to the
Fredericksburg's
World
beautiful.
War II museum there?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
It's so cool. I remember a family friend of mine who actually went to like Harvard Law School. Like, this guy is so smart. He's like probably one of the guys. He's one
Do
of the.
I know him?
No, you don't. Actually, no. You know his wife, Mrs. Knepp at St. Michael's. Okay, I think she became the academic advisor at St. Michael's our senior year.
Ah, so I probably don't know.
And her husband teaches at Regents, and her husband also knew my dad, like for like 10 years before I was even born. Like, he was one of my dad's good friends, and so he's just a good like family friend to us.
Damn.
But
Shit.
yeah, I go to him for advice a lot. Another thing I was saying is, now that I'm in College Station and people are more outdoorsy here, maybe there'll be cool stuff. Kind of
People are more outdoorsy in College Station.
Yeah, they're country.
I mean, I
people.
feel like
it's better
because
than
it's,
like down. We're city boys. Let's be honest. We are both city boys. 110%.
Just a city boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fucking
Want to sing?
Okay, we're going. No, not singing.
But I feel like going to a more country, quote unquote, school will.
Darn tootin'.
Amen, brother. Will make me go to more like do more outdoorsy stuff, which I'm glad to because I've always wanted to be into that more. I used to be a Boy Scout, but I gave it up for for basketball after middle school. So
from Boy Scout to basket boy.
Basket boy. Back to back to country frat boy.
Now country frat boy. Meanwhile, I went from some kid to
trench coat nerd
to fucking creep to now just some dude.
Just some dude. That's a good description.
There's like the rise and fall and rise again of Alexander Elledge. It's literally just that. It's weird.
Are you going up or down right now?
At this very, very instant, I'm all right. But the general me trend. Right now, the past 3 days have been like the lowest I've been in a hot minute, to say the least.
Damn.
But it's all my fault. Like I'm yeah. I'm all right, guys.
Okay, so let's get into this other Reddit post. If you scroll down, fair enough, you'll find it. It's on Today I Learned from 4 days ago. It's Ryan Reynolds, apparently, has had a lifelong struggle with anxiety, and that in 2018 he would carry out many of his interviews from Deadpool's perspective, and that he acted like he was Deadpool. Or I guess what's the actual person's name?
Deadpool?
Yeah, what was his name before he became Deadpool? What was his name?
Wade Wilson.
Wade Wilson. So I guess he would act as Wade Wilson in his interviews and not as himself because of anxiety.
I mean, to be fair, like I've seen some of his interviews and it just seems like Ryan Reynolds to me at this point, because like Ryan Reynolds just like is Deadpool.
I guess
he's the perfect typecast.
It's kind of like a sarcastic asshole. What if it's nothing like he really is, and it's just a facade because he's like...
Oh man, dude, I've seen his Twitter. He's Deadpool. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people that have been a lot of famous people that have been coming out and saying that. You know, Bo Burnham, the comedian.
Yeah.
He recently said that every time he's on stage he just has a panic attack, and he has he has 3 Netflix specials. And he's like, yeah, when I was filming the Netflix specials, I had a panic attack on stage while he was filming them. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's cool.
That's insane, because his entire job is performing on stage.
I saw this. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast on the way when I drove from Austin to here. And I forgot who he had on. He had on... I know you're laughing at me because I mention Joe Rogan every time we record a podcast, but it's literally...
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, dude. Henry Rollins, and he was talking about how in the industry that if a guy is truly good at what they do, whether it's like acting, stand-up comedy, or music, that they will always be nervous if they're actually any good, because they're always questioning how good they are, which makes them perfect themselves anymore, so they're always getting better. The quote was that he's like, oh yeah, I was opening, because he's like a stand-up guy. It's not he doesn't call it stand-up comedy because he doesn't want to restrict himself to comedy, but he often opened for like musicians, and he said he opened for a famous, and he didn't give the name, and he was like, I opened for this one really well-known rock star, and when I got off the stage he said, how many dudes are out there, man? He's like, there's like 16,000. What do you mean? and he's like,
what the fuck?
And he's like, oh, good. And it turns out he said afterwards that it was Ozzy Osbourne questioning how many people were in the crowd at his performance.
Wild.
Yeah. But yeah.
Fucking wild.
I'm sure I probably had some form of anxiety. Most people probably have some form of anxiety throughout their whole life, but I don't think I've really noticed it and pinpointed it till I truly understood what it meant, because once I had a definition in my head, I can oh, this is just anxiety, get over it.
Yeah. I didn't actually know how a panic attack felt until very recently, and this part of the podcast is gonna get dark.
Oh boy,
to say the least. No, I mean not really dark, but it's gonna be me dropping some shit. But I like up until recently, I'm like, oh, I'm a pretty well-adjusted person. Like I'm pretty like emotionally vacant, and that sounds bad, but I just really think of it as like I can just kind of get over stuff easy.
Mm-hmm.
But like recently and last year, well, just go for the recently. So I kind of fucked up really bad, and I'm not going to get into details, but like when my dad left and I was just kind of me alone, I was running a bunch of errands that I needed to do for this thing, and as I was running them, I got into the elevator to go up to my room, and I just started crying, and I just like freaking out, like I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do.
Damn.
And it passed quickly. Like once I got out of the elevator, I kind of like just like been like, you know what, Alex, just fucking suck it up. Chill out. Like we'll figure it out.
That's what I tell myself a lot. In that,
yeah.
Well, first of all, anxiety by definition is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an intimate event or something with an uncertain outcome. So I mean, it's understandable for people our age that we're just freshly in. I guess we're going into our second year of college. There's so much more pressure.
There's so much more pressure on
us,
our generation, than there has been, I believe, on any other, besides maybe like World War II.
I think it's mainly just because like we're making the decisions we're making in our lives and the way we act are actually like having a permanent impact. Like if you are lazy when it comes to school, that is now forever set in stone. If you have bad habits, what would you call it? Rebounds? No. The repercussions are clear.
Dire.
Yeah. If you decide to make a big decision, like I decided to transfer schools.
Yeah.
So far I'm not too like I'm pretty worried about it when it comes to at least my relationship with my girlfriend, but besides that, I don't really care. And I do get anxiety about it, but I always tell myself worrying about it is not going to do anything. Like no matter what happens, worrying isn't going to help me in my life at all.
Yeah.
If anything, it's just going to make things worse, and I just like kind of just like have to sit there, take it in, and just let it go. I guess I've kind of been meditating in a sense. I've been trying to get myself to meditate every morning. I haven't done it, but I've been trying to because I feel like that will gather myself more in a way. If I gather myself, I write down what I'm going to do in the mornings. Like I've been trying to wake up and in this journal write what I'm going to do in the day, and then think about it and kind of meditate in a sense, in that almost any sort of kind of curveball that might happen throughout the day freaks me out less because I'm prepared in a sense.
That seems very healthy. What I do is incredibly less healthy.
Uh-huh.
I just kind of like whenever I have shit, like whenever like I'm kind of worrying about something, I'm just like, I just kind of fill my day up with shit so I just don't have to worry about it. Like if like for example, like I'm just sitting in bed just staring at the wall, I get like just this feeling. It's like, Alex, you need to fucking do something, and I just listen to a podcast so it like goes away, so the feeling goes away, which is shit. And I should probably start doing what you're doing. But yeah.
What I've been trying to tell myself more and more, it's a hard thing for me, is that like if I don't want to do something, like if I don't want to like make my bed in the morning, which you can see Alex in like little things like that every day. You wake up and like, oh, I don't want to make my bed. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, I can just do it later. That's the worst mentality ever. You should always if you have something to do and you don't have something more important to do at that moment, just get it fucking over with.
Do it.
Because if you just are busy all day, you get a lot of shit done. At the end of the day, when you relax, like for an hour or two before you go to bed, you will feel so much more satisfied than if you just kind of dicked around and didn't do shit all day.
Yeah. I should probably start doing that.
And
like recently I've gotten better at it, like especially since I worked all summer. I kind of just like, I had to get shit done. And like I haven't gotten my chance to prove myself in school yet since like the first day. But I think once I kind of like settle down into a schedule and I'm just like, okay, I think I can do this, I think it'll get a lot better. Plus I've had like a really good support group, I've been trying to hang out with some of my friends at least once a day, maybe like once every other day, just to kind of keep away the, you know, the emptiness that is my dorm.
No, I've always.
It sounds bad. It's not that bad. I'm exaggerating, but like I've been trying to get like social interaction, you know.
I'm not too concerned. I've always been like a really introverted person, and it's less so as I've gotten older. Yeah, you didn't notice that? I'm horrible. I'm horrible in social situations. I would much rather have a one-on-one conversation with someone like we're having now than go and like hang out with 5 people. 100 times, 99 out of 100 times, I would rather hang out with a single person than 5 or more. And that's fair. That is a trait of an introvert. And then also for the fact that when I relax...
Is that really?
Yeah. Introverts much rather have intimate one-on-one conversations than go hang out with a bunch of people. Extroverts would want to jump into a big group of people and just go do stuff. Meanwhile, when I want to relax, I want to sit alone, lay in bed, and watch YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of another reason that I got my own dorm, because I loved my roommate, and we still talk, and I want to hang out with him a lot. But like, sometimes I would just like, and he was very good at like just like letting me chill in my corner, and it was nice to be able to like just look around and see another person there. But like when I'm living by myself, I can just kind of do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm like, if nobody talks to me, so be it. Nobody's gonna talk to me because there's no one here. But Steve, that you call yourself an introvert really interests me, because back in high school, we met by playing video games in
Mr. Wag's class.
Mr. Wag's class. we were just some four thing.
It was a new student. Everyone was sitting on the other side of the room, except you. Yeah. And so I decided not to sit in the back of the big group of people. I sat next to the one nerdy kid on his laptop.
Yeah, that's
there
me.
You go. There you go.
And
I feel like that is definitely the move of an introvert.
Yeah, that's fair. But we, like, ever since then, we've kind of just, like, become better and better friends as the years go by. But I've always, every time, like, I'm not doing something and I just, like, don't feel like it because I just, like, want to, I just want to just lay down or just not have to deal with people. Mm-hmm. You're like, fuck you, Alex. Let's do, get out. Get out of your house.
I think the main reason I do that is because I catch you a lot of times, and I don't call you out on it a lot, when we'll have something planned, like a D&D session, or we'll plan to do the podcast, or we'll plan to do anything. And I know you are sitting at home playing video games, delaying the inevitable. You never cancel. You just delay it. You're like, I
delay it by like 30 minutes.
I had a long day of work today. I need to relax. And then 3 hours later, of you just playing like whatever video game you're on, you're like, you can come over now. And I get it. That's how you relax. You play your video games. But I personally feel that is a habit you should get out of, and that you game too much. That is why I call you out on your bullshit and tell you to go do something else besides play video games.
But what I was gonna say is that you kind of brought me out of my introvert shell. At least you were like the first like stepping stone for me to kind of not be a fucking sack of shit. Yeah, like before sophomore year, I mean you guys know how it was like fucking before sophomore year. If you were in SMCA, I was a weirdo and I kind of just didn't really talk to anyone. But Steve-O here, he swooped in like an angel and picked me up from the dredges of society. And now I'm a relatively functioning person, I think. I mean, for the most part.
One thing you gotta know is, like, that's part of life, is growing to be a better person. Like, every day you learn a lesson and you grow. And I feel like if I ever stop growing as a person, I'm not gonna just not have a desire to live. Because, like, most of my, most of the things that keep me going and keep me looking forward to the future are improvements. Like, I couldn't wait to move to this apartment because I knew I could be alone and work on myself. Like, I'm going to try to stay as clean as possible. I'm going to start by making my bed every morning. I'm going to try to kick nicotine completely out of my system if possible. Dang. All sorts of shit. I want to eat really well. I want to work out every day. Lots of things that I feel like I can do really well since I'm living alone. Though I am reaffiliating with the fraternity, and I'm sure I will love those guys, but that's going to become a massive distraction. I know it will.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football games? Oh my god, I'm so excited for fucking football games, dude. Holy shit.
Don't die.
I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna be fine.
Then I would have to record this podcast with someone else.
No, never do that. I own 50% of the incomes. I get 50% of the one Red Bull.
Yeah. To be fair, we're actually negative right now because we have to buy Red Bulls for every podcast.
Dude, I got a
then you have to buy.
I already told you this, but I got a Sam's Club membership. That shit is dope. Well, technically, I jumped on my mom's Sam's Club's membership, and the reason I did it today is because we were going to Sam's Club to buy I was buying canned beans, lots of canned beans and lots of rice to just store in my apartment.
This boy eating beans.
Yeah, because it won't perish. It's imperishable stuff as long as you keep it in the can. And the reason it expires in 3 years. I'm not gonna, if I don't eat the beans in 3 years, I'm not gonna ever eat the beans. And so
fair enough.
So we passed by a gas station, probably a football field away from the Sam's Club, and I think the gas was around 260, and then at the Sam's Club, it was $2.35. This is right next door to this gas station, and it dropped to 25 cents per gallon, and I was like, I need to get me a Sam's Club membership right then.
Arizona gas is so fucking expensive compared to Texas.
What is it? What is?
Because Texas is $2.50, $2.60, right?
Yeah, it's
hovering around there. Here it's $2.9. It's literally $3. It's $2.99.
I mean, it depends on where you go.
I mean, I get it. It's West Coast, but if you go to the middle of buttfuck nowhere, I assume it's gonna be all right. But still, Texas gas prices are.
There were, in Austin, Westlake, they were horrible. But it was so much, it's so worth it. I would drive to the Randalls off 71 and Manchac by the Pluckers over there, and the gas would always be a solid 10 cents less than it would be in Westlake per gallon. I would always just drive there.
That's fair.
Because I've kind of grown smart with getting cheaper gas. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember back when I used to live in California. I remember when gas was $5 for a gallon, and my dad drove an Escalade, so a big ass truck, or an SUV.
I would love an Escalade.
So filling up they would literally be $100. Shout out to Jake Galooly.
Oh yeah, Jake Galooly has a King Ranch F-150 to where it's it can, I think it can hold something 50 plus gallons of gas.
The last time he posted a picture of it in the social club, it's our super secret group chat.
Yeah, no one knows what the social club is.
30 gallons, and it costed him $80-something, and I was just fuck.
Do you think he has to get?
But I assume.
Do you think he has to get not just regular gas? Do you think he has got to get the nicer gas? There's different levels.
I don't think so.
The Supreme gas.
No, because my friend used to drive a King's Ranch, and it it ejects its exhaust every once in a while, so I think it's fine. I don't even know what that. I don't know how that.
How does that correlate? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't know. I don't think he has to use diesel.
Not diesel, but I guess with nicer cars, you're supposed to use the higher tier of gas. I don't know if
really?
that's the case.
I never found a reason to use the higher tiered gas.
I never have either. I don't know anything about it. That's something that we should research.
I feel if you drive a nice car that has a lot of a 12-cylinder engine or something,
a sporty
ridiculous
car.
Shit, like a sporty car, you're gonna need it because it uses more faster, and it'll gunk up a lot faster if you use the lower quality ones. But hey, you never know.
I'm googling it.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about this actually.
Okay, so an engine. Hold on, let me read this.
Right,
an engine needs a minimum amount of octane to avoid ping, which is caused by uncontrollable combustion in the fuel inside the cylinders. Excessive ping can severely damage the engine. So certain engines need higher octane gas just because they're built that way. I don't know which cars do that, but that's the case. Sorry, go on.
All right. I mean, damn. This is totally off topic, but I wanted to talk. Do you know what the SR-71 Blackbird is?
Yeah, just from Call of Duty.
It's that. Really?
Yeah, it's in Call of Duty.
Oh shit! Well, it's this. It's this ridiculous plane that they had in the early Its first in the official records, it says it was first made in 1969, retired 1999. And it was one of the. I think it still is the fastest like jet. Well, as far as we know, the fastest
like
jet.
$2 billion.
It's some ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
But it's like all black. I think the X-Men. The X-Men fly the Blackbird. Yeah, they have an SR-71 Blackbird, which is so funny to me.
See how in Call of Duty they have UAVs and you can see people on the minimap.
UAV inbound.
Yeah, so an SR-71 was a constant UAV. So you could see the direction where the people were going on the minimap and you could always see them.
What kill streak was that?
I think it was like 11. It's pretty damn good. Like that can turn the tide of a game like instantly.
Oh yeah, no,
if you can see where everyone is and where they're pointing every instant, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but anyways, the SR-71 Blackbird, it's like it could fly some ridiculous like crazy speeds. I'm trying to look up. The final flight, but it like I think its average was like 2,000 something miles an hour. So just ridiculously fast. But on its the thing I wanted to talk about was that on its final flight, like from to the museum that it's going to be in Washington D.C. I forget what it's called, the Aero. That one fucking air museum. I couldn't find it. All right. Anyways.
Oh boy. See, now everyone's gonna leave you. See.
Ah, shit.
But
on the West Coast, on its way from the West Coast to the East Coast, the pilot just decided to say fuck it and boost it up to like Mach 3 instead of like its regular flight of like Mach 1 or Mach 2.
Just a casual Mach 3.
Yeah, no, it just casually boosted up to like 1.5 or 3 times the speed just because they could.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that shit was so funny. That's such a flex. He's just like, hey guys, you see me now? And he's just fucking cruising at like 3,000 miles an hour. Just picture some fucking dude.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. What was I gonna say? One other thing that I remembered while we were talking is Bela told me when she listened to the podcast that a lot of times we would say something and not go into it. We'd briefly say something and then just like skip over it and like she was like, wait, what? And that we need to like make sure everything we mention we go into detail about. And what made me think of that is you just couldn't think of the name of this museum, and now whoever hears this,
it's the National Air and Space Museum in Washington D.C.
There we go. We need to like make sure we fill in the gaps if we want people to listen.
It's in Washington D.C. Mm-hmm. It's fucking cool. The Smithsonian, is that the National Air and Space Museum? SR-71.
No, I'm thinking
such a good movie. Such a good movie. I need to rewatch it, but yeah, it's in it's in that museum. And the thing is a fucking beast. I think it's also like, since it's all black, it can't be detected on radar. So what they used it for was like flyby spy missions, where it just fucking jet over like this, like the entire European, like East European block in like an hour. They're just like, see you later, losers. Yeah, I fucking love it.
Oh, I saw another thing on that same podcast I mentioned earlier with whatever the guy's name.
With Joe Rogan, bro?
Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan Experience. They talked about, there was an Abraham Lincoln quote which I thought was like so true. I think Lincoln said something along the lines of that no foreign country will ever gain the power to defeat the United States. What will eventually lead to the end of the United States is internal corruption.
I mean, I'm sure it's the same with everywhere. There's corruption everywhere nowadays. I mean, that maybe not everywhere, but there's like, it's just kind of, I don't know, man. Did you hear about that? This kind of ties into it. Did you hear about that Russian spy who got outed as a Russian spy because she got too drunk and started bragging that she was a Russian spy?
No.
That shit was so funny.
I think it's
but yeah,
it's really weird because like more and more I try to like pay attention to politics and world news more and more, but more and more I listen to it. It seems like everyone who who's in deep in politics is somewhat corrupt, no matter what. And it's so I don't understand what happened because like I'm sure in the beginning not all of these people were just evil people. There's just something about that kind of power. I guess it's
money.
It's not even money. It's just it's power because power is.
I guess.
I feel like valued more than money in a sense. Because most of the people who are running for high office in politics have enough money to where they don't really concern themselves.
You can pay 1,000 people to do something, but it has a personal cost to you. But you force 1,000 people to do something, no personal cost.
Yeah.
I don't know how that.
No, the power
kind of
you can
weird.
exchange power for money easily. Like, as if you're, let's say you're on the Senate and a big business is lobbying for you to push this bill. They could easily slide you money under the table. Like, I'm sure this has happened before, but I'm not so sure there's rules to prevent it. But like, they could make a fuck ton of money just because of the power position they are. Yeah,
I know a lot of just kind of like the bullshit nowadays is happening because not a lot of it, but I know that some of it is definitely caused by the fact that there's a two-party system. And you can only, like, it's either one or the other. And sometimes, like this election, I personally hated both candidates. I thought that if Hillary were to get elected, we'd be fucked. I think if Trump were to get elected, we'd be fucked. So I was kind of just like, I just don't, like whatever. Like, it's fucked both ways.
Yeah, I think... oh, sorry, you go.
But, like, a lot of it trails back to, like, George Washington. He's like, all right, Alexander Hamilton and, fuck, I forget his name. There's Alexander Hamilton and, one sec. Basically, he was like, don't create a two-party system.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm resigning, so we don't have, like, some crazy, like, power struggle. And then as soon as George Washington resigned, he was just like, yeet on that shit, and he created a two-party system. And I guess, like, it's kind of human... Oh, this is going to get fucking weird, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong. So if I'm wrong, tell me. But it's kind of human nature to have a two-party system. Because, like, you may not agree with everything they say, but I know, like, a lot of people nowadays are like, oh, if I vote for somebody else, it's not going to matter. Yada, yada.
I think
it's like it's one good side and bad side. It's like the Allies versus the Axis. There's a good and a bad. And I guess in this case it's subjective, not that case though.
I think a lot of times humans are really like tribal and animalistic, and we kind of want like a group to affiliate ourselves with. And a lot of the problems come from that, like, if let's say I'm a Republican, and if you're a Republican, you have to believe global warming doesn't exist. You have to believe in big business and tiny government and state power. You have to believe in all of those things. And that, I think, is the problem in its own, and that, like, you're almost restricted by the two-party system. And then anyone who disagrees both ways, like, and wants to find themselves in between and, like, make a third party, is not inclined to vote for a third party because they feel like their vote is being wasted in a sense. But I feel like that is not what should be the case. If you truly feel that neither party suits you, you should vote third party, no matter how much you feel like you're wasting a vote. But because if you do it, and then someone else decides to do it, and someone else decides to do it, it just builds on itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It's like, it's kind of, I agree with the tribal thing, and I see it a lot nowadays, because, like, when someone's Democratic, they're like, oh, like, fucking stupid redneck Republicans. And when someone's Republican, they're like, oh, fucking liberal, tired, like, lazy Democrats. It's gotten very toxic. Like, that's why I don't do politics too much, because it's like, it kind of hurts to see people talking about other people like this. I don't know. I just don't want to be a part of it. And of course, like, I'll vote in the elections, and I'll try to help out in my way as much as I can. But, like, if you just, like, immediately typecasting someone is a problem on both sides, and there is no, like, in some cases one side is an upper ground, in some cases I'd say the other. But I think people need to stop just screaming at each other and kind of just get down to, like, the nitty gritty of why, and not, like, what, you know?
Also, well, I don't know how much I want to bring this up because this is another topic in its own. A lot of things that I've seen that people say is that social media and just like the internet in general restricts people's thoughts because you are less inclined to think for yourself. You're more inclined just to find an article that you agree with immediately and not think about things. And because of this digital age, the common people are thinking less and less and less and less, which makes democracy useless in itself. Which is kind of funny because, like Socrates said, the perfect government is an aristocratic democracy, and that only the select get to vote, not everyone. Because when everyone votes, it goes to shit, which is kind of fucked up to say, because like we all have been raised that like every human should vote, but Socrates, even though it was 2,000 years ago, who knows if he's right, felt that you need to have certain qualifications to vote, in a sense.
I mean, that's fair, but that also brings up Animal Farm. Like, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others, and that some shit like that would start some shit.
Yeah, you just have to hope that the people, these aristocrats that have been selected, are actually pure enough to realize that they shouldn't be corrupt. Which is the hardest part, is to avoid corruption, to avoid selfishness, which is like ingrained in human nature. No matter how much you can say it's a bad thing, everyone does it. Everyone.
Communism as an idea works, but when it's put forth in reality, corruption and kind of everything else comes into play. Like human nature comes into play, which is why it will never work, in my view.
And that's why people like capitalism, because it plays on human nature. It plays on greed. It plays on selfishness. Because if you're greedy and selfish, you will probably make it well in this society and furthers the society, because you're competitive as hell. You want to be the first to do this. You want to be the first to make this, and you are just pushing everything forward. Because if you make the next big thing, someone's like, damn, I need to make whatever's next, and it just pushes, it just moves.
I also, like, just because of human nature, I believe that, like, capitalism is one of the only kind of, like, I'm gonna get some dirty looks, but I think capitalism is one of the only ways society can work, in a sense, because it's like, it's boiled down, when you boil it down, like, very, 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 to, like, its simple basics. It's like, I'll give you a chicken if you, like, help me, like, till the fields. It's work for pay. And, of course, like, I believe in, like, Canada. It has high taxes, which is, like, sure, everyone's, like, people are like, oh, fuck that. But it's universal health care. So, like, if you walk into, like, a hospital, you're not going to be like, oh, can you sew up my leg? And they're like, you fucking do it, pussy. Shit like that. Anyways, I think we've been rambling for about, we're at 57 minutes right now, Steven.
I feel like the last, like, 10 minutes have probably been so factually incorrect, and so many people are going to be like,
oh, no, so bad,
wrong.
Yeah, I'm fully aware. Just a forewarning, y'all, before y'all start fucking, like, madly typing at me, I'm fully aware that my opinions are probably wrong. And they're probably wrong because I don't do a lot of, like, politics stuff.
I want to hear what you think. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why, so I can learn.
Yeah. If you want to talk about it,
just don't be too much of a dick about it. Like, be constructive, please. That's all I ask.
Like, hit me up with that sick constructive criticism, because I love that shit.
We have a Twitter now.
We have a Twitter.
I made a Twitter because I couldn't sleep at night, and it was like
perfect
3 a.m. and I was like, fuck it. It's at tall and taller1, all lowercase, no space, because tall and taller was taken. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Let's look up who took tall and taller.
I don't know, but
why don't you do tall and taller?
I thought about doing tall. We can change it. We can change it if we want. I thought about doing like tall underscase taller, which would have worked, but I didn't like it as much as and. But the name, because that's the Twitter handle, but the actual name is just Tall and Taller Podcast. I linked it in all of the original episodes. Once I made it, I'll link it in whatever you're listening to on this, whether it be SoundCloud, Apple Music, or YouTube, because that's all the 3 platforms we use. It'll be on there. This is the first time we did the podcast where we're actually not face-to-face. I don't think it was that different. I don't think it was
No,
that bad.
not
I was
really.
a little concerned at first, but I don't think it was that much different.
There were a few laughs and gaffes. There was less laughs and gaffes, but there was still a hearty amount.
It was a more serious podcast.
It was a more serious podcast.
As we got into fucking anxiety and politics. Those are not funny topics.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It kind of happens, We just kind of talk, and wherever the conversation goes, it goes.
Yeah, I don't want to label us as fucking. I don't want to label it as a, what do you call it? Like comedy. I don't like. We're our genre is comedy on everything we're on, but I don't want it to just be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But comedy was the
enough.
best thing I thought of.
I mean, yeah, it mostly is comedy. Sometimes it gets deep and hearty like this one, but there you go. It happens.
So, you want to think of a word? We should have. So another tip that another critique that Ron Hansel told me is that we should have dropped the secret word somewhere in the middle of the podcast so people don't skip to the end. If you skip to the end, you're an asshole, and you lied to us.
You're a fucking pussy.
Come on, man, just don't even listen. Like I don't get don't listen. If you just want to, if any of y'all
if you message me the word,
like I'll never have proof that you just get to the end. But if you're really doing that, like come on, man, that's just, like why? You're really trying to like have a good impression on me. I don't give a shit. Or Alex, whatever.
Yeah. Nah, but yeah, what should we do for today's word? I have a screw.
Anxiety.
I have a screw next to me.
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Oh jeez. No, God, I don't even want to think about anxiety. What about like what is this called?
Either
it's like a twist tie. Twist tie.
All right, either text us anxiety or twist tie. You pick.
Yeah, twist tie or anxiety. Please, if you're messaging me, please don't pick anxiety because I'm
anxiety. I'll message you anxiety.
Yeah. Please, you fucking asshole.
Right. I'm gonna try to edit this. This is gonna be a pain. Bye.
It always is. Peace, y'all. Have a nice day. Remember, you are all kings and queens.
Oh my God.
Bless up. Peace.
Bye.